Benny the Bear and the Cloud Parade. In a cozy forest full of tall trees and soft moss lived a little bear named Benny. Benny had big fluffy ears, a round tummy, and the kindest eyes you've ever seen. Every night, after brushing his teeth and snuggling into bed, Benny would look up at the sky and watch the clouds float by. One evening, just as the stars began to twinkle, Benny saw something magical. A little puff of cloud drifted down and whispered, "Benny, do you want to come to the cloud parade?" Benny's eyes lit up. "Yes, please." So the cloud swooped low and picked him up, cradling him like a soft pillow. Up, up, up they floated, above the trees, above the hills, above the whole world. In the sky, the clouds were getting ready. Big ones, small ones, swirly ones, and stripy ones. They were all lining up in a row, getting ready to march across the moonlight in the silliest, fluffiest parade you could imagine. There was a cloud shaped like a giraffe doing a dance. One looked like a train and went choo-choo. Another looked like a duck wearing a hat, quack, quack. Benny giggled so hard he nearly tumbled off his cloud. Then came the sleepy cloud, soft and slow, humming a lullaby so gentle it made all the stars sway. Benny yawned a big bear yawn. "Oh, that's the nicest song," he mumbled. The clouds twirled and swirled one last time, then gently floated Benny back to his cozy forest bed. "Good night, Benny," the clouds whispered as they disappeared into the sky. Benny gave a sleepy smile, curled up tight, and drifted into the sweetest dream of giraffe clouds and duck hats and fluffy parades in the stars. The end. Benny the Bear and the Cotton Candy Cloud. The next evening, just as the sun dipped behind the hills and painted the sky orange and pink, Benny the Bear looked up and whispered, "Clouds, are you there?" And just like that, poof! A gentle pink cloud floated down, sparkling like sugar. "Hop on, Benny," it giggled. "We're going to the Cotton Candy Cloud." Benny clambered on, holding tight to his favourite bedtime blankie. They floated high above the trees again, where the stars were just waking up. The cotton candy cloud was soft, sweet-smelling, and shaped like a giant swirl. There were other little animals there too, Pip the penguin, Lilla the lamb, and even Max the mouse, all snuggled up, bouncing gently as the cloud bobbed in the breeze. "Welcome to the sleepy bounce," said the cloud. One by one the animals gently bounced, bop, 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 like tiny sleepy hops. Each bounce made them sleepier and sleepier. Benny laughed once, then twice, then yawned, rubbed his eyes. As the wind hummed a lullaby and the clouds slowly rocked, Benny curled up next to Pip and Lilla. Max the mouse gave a little snore. Benny's eyes blinked once, twice, and just before he drifted off, the cloud whispered, "We'll float you home, little bear." Down they went, soft as a whisper, as quiet as a dream, back to Benny's bed, tucked under the stars. The end. Benny the Bear and the Starry Raindrops. One evening the sky was a little different. The clouds were dark and cozy, and soft raindrops were falling like tiny kisses from the sky. Benny the Bear sat at his window, watching the drops make little plip-plop sounds on the leaves. Just then, a silvery cloud floated down wearing a tiny umbrella. "Hello again, Benny," it said. "Tonight we're going to go puddle hopping in the sky." Benny clapped his paws with excitement. The cloud gently scooped him up, and up they floated through the misty sky. Raindrops twinkled like stars all around them. These weren't ordinary raindrops, they were starry raindrops, glowing gently and making music when they touched the clouds. Plink plonk, tinkle twinkle. The other clouds were jumping in puddles made of moonlight. Benny giggled and joined in. Splash! The puddles sparkled like glitter. Each jump made a gentle ding, like a sleepy bell. Then Benny saw something even more magical, a rainbow slide. It curved from one cloud to another, glowing in sleepy colours, blues, purples, soft pinks and greens. Go on, Benny, cheered the cloud. Benny slid down the rainbow with a soft whee and landed right in a fluffy cloud cushion. That was the best ride ever, he whispered, as his eyes started to flutter. The cloud gave him a little hug. Time to float you home, puddle jumper. Down they drifted through the quiet rainy sky. Benny's eyes were already closed, dreaming of rainbow slides and starry raindrops. The end. Benny the Bear and the Moonlight Hug. One calm and quiet night, the clouds whispered, "Tonight's the night, Benny. The moon wants to meet you." Benny blinked sleepily. The moon? A soft silver cloud swirled into his room and gave him a little bow. "Hop on," it smiled. "She's been watching over you every night and wants to say hello." Up Benny went, holding his teddy tight. They floated higher than ever before, past the trees, past the stars, past the tallest clouds, until they reached the moon. She was round and glowing like a big shiny pancake in the sky. "Hello, Benny," said the moon in her voice warm and calm. "I've seen you from up here, being brave and kind. I thought you might like a little moon hug tonight." Benny smiled. "Yes, please." The moon opened her glowing arms and gave Benny the softest hug. It felt like warm milk, soft blankets and lullabies all at once. Then she showed Benny her special garden. It was full of glowing moonflowers, gently swaying to the music of the stars. There were moon bunnies bouncing quietly and a little owl wearing glasses reading a bedtime story. Benny sat for a while, sipping moonberry tea and listening to the owl's tale. His eyes got heavier and heavier. When it was time to go, the moon kissed the top of Benny's head. "Sleep well, little one. I'll be watching." The silver cloud floated Benny home through the hush of the night. As she snuggled back into bed, he whispered, "Good night, moon," and she whispered back, "Good night, Benny." The end. Benny and the Underwater Clouds. One night, Benny the Bear was tucked into bed when he noticed a blue cloud bubbling outside his window. It was giggling. "Tonight," said the cloud, "we're going under the sea." "Can clouds go underwater?" Benny asked, eyes wide. "This one can," said the cloud with a wink. It wrapped around Benny like a blanket, and off they floated down through the stars, past the waves and gently into the glowing sea. The ocean wasn't dark or scary at all. It sparkled with jellyfish lanterns and shimmerfish dancing by. The cloud turned into a bubble boat, and Benny floated through coral castles and seaweed meadows. Little dolphins waved hello, and a sleepy sea turtle gave Benny a ride on her shell. Then Benny saw something amazing. Underwater clouds. They were puffballs made of bubbles, glowing in soft rainbow colours. The sea creatures were using them as pillows, floating in big, dreamy groups. A sleepy whale hummed a deep, peaceful lullaby. It rumbled through the water like a song in Benny's chest. "Time for bed," said the bubble cloud, wrapping Benny up gently. As they rose back to the surface, Benny's eyes grew heavy. The cloud floated him all the way back to his room, laying him softly in bed. just as the moon peeked through the window. "Sweet dreams, little diver," the cloud whispered, and Benny dreamed of jellyfish lights and coral castles all night long. The end. Benny the Bear and the Cloud Mountain Dragon. One evening, as Benny snuggled into bed, he noticed a fluffy cloud shaped like a mountain floating just above the trees. The cloud whispered, "Tonight we're going to meet the sleepy dragon of Cloud Mountain." Benny's eyes lit up. "A real dragon?" "Not just any dragon," said the cloud, "the gentlest dragon in the sky." Up Benny floated once more, higher and higher, until they reached Cloud Mountain, a soft, snowy peak made entirely of cloud fluff and moonlight. At the very top was a great big dragon curled up like a cat. She was huge but peaceful, with shiny silver scales, twinkling like stars. Her breath came out in warm puffs that turned into tiny twirling clouds. "Hello, Benny," the dragon rumbled softly. "Would you like to hear a bedtime story?" Benny nodded and climbed onto her back. She was warm like a giant hot water bottle. As the stars twinkled around them, the dragon began her story, a gentle tale about the first ever cloud who flew too close to a rainbow and turned sparkly forever. Benny listened, snuggled in, eyes fluttering. His paws wrapped around his teddy. The dragon's voice was so soothing, so soft it felt like the whole sky was yawning. When the story ended, the dragon gave Benny a tiny crystal scale. "This is a dream charm," she said. "It'll keep your dreams sweet and safe." The cloud carried Benny home, gently rocking him like a boat. In his paw, the tiny scale glowed softly. Benny fell asleep with a smile, dreaming of cloud mountains, dragon stories, and stars that sing. The end.